Hey, everybody, welcome to the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As usual, this is just an open conversation between me and my viewers. We talk about whatever you want to talk about. So ask whatever question you want to ask, suggest whatever topic. It's up to you. Doesn't have to be gun related, just whatever's on your mind. And if I can't answer it, remember, there might be someone in the live chat that can. So pay attention to the live chat. And participate, talk amongst yourselves. That's what it's there for, camaraderie. So get involved, chitty chat, ask me questions, ask people in the chat questions. They're having conversations. Feel free to be part of it. As always, I like to start the chat by reading orders, usually what we got for the last 24 hours, but today I got to do it for 48 hours because we did when we're doing the group chat things, it's hard for me to answer the questions and get to stuff like that, but I try to make up for it the next day. We got a couple people over there. We got a Stephen Law, got a The Guns Don't Kill People, the government does shirt, the Dale Gribble shirt, the bootleg shirt. Jonathan McPeak also got the same thing and a hat with it on it. Zachary Lois, people make up these fucking names. These people do not have these names. They got one of the Be Kind to Animals or I'll Kill You shirt. Don't sell a lot of those. I like that shirt. Someone sent me that on a shirt, so I made my own version of it because I liked it so much. And then we sold to Ryan Athy another of the Dale Gribble shirts. So the Dale Gribble shirts are sold a few last couple of days. That's because I've let people know that those might go away because I already had one producer for Printify say, nope, we're not making these. And once one does it, it's like dominoes usually. But luckily right now, the second producer I chose hasn't said anything. And luckily, I think the first producer, which was Monster Digital, I think that they weren't sure that it was a copyright violation. So they didn't report me as a strike where they take the design off the website, but they just said that they won't produce it. So hopefully it'll keep going for a while. Already. Where are we at? I've already started, haven't I? So yeah, I need to get to the questions. Well, what am I doing? I read the merch. I've lost my place. I told y'all I'm a little giddy. I ate a 20-pound watermelon right before the chat, and it's already hitting me. So I'm gonna have to pee. But as I was saying, if you want to join us here, be part of the posse, want to support the channel because it is 100% viewer funded. I don't do discount codes. I don't make deals with manufacturers. I don't do business with the gun rights groups. I think they're all bad for our gun rights because what's good for business ain't good for rights. So I try to stay out of that. And because of that, I need your all's help to do the things we do. And if you want to be a member of the channel, go on over to TYMPpistolproject.com. You can see it right here. Over there, you can sign up, become a patron. Support the Pets and Vets program. You can sign up on Subscribestar and choose to support Pets and Vets or TYMP. You can go over and buy some of my merch, and it's not all gun merch. There's Bigfoot Jesus here, like I believe. This one just says believeth in Bigfoot Jesus. That's one of my designs over there. You can go over there and buy any merch. That supports TYMP. So please go over, help. You can also sign up to be a recipient over there of TYMP if you're someone in need. So let me know. Let's see here. Where was I? Oh, I got to get to the questions. We got a couple over here. We got Mikey D with his member chat chimed in. Your opinion on Pam Bondi's DOJ's amicus brief to the 7th Circuit saying to end this and get it right. Hey, side with Judge McGlynn. It's unconstitutional. I don't know what that last part means. I haven't read it yet, but an amicus brief don't mean a lot. It's like the legal equivalent of saying, hey, stop it. Or no, when someone's coming on to you. So yeah, I haven't read it yet. Haven't had time. I've been busy trying to figure out how to use my laser engraver. I'll let you know more once I know more. Then we got Jacoby Japan saying, how many pieces can you properly holster and conceal on your body? Why, one, I know, because I carry one. Any style carry, cross, ankle, inside waistband, I don't know. One's my answer because that's all I ever carry is one. So I don't know. I don't have any experience to answer the other one because I'm not crazy. A Domino Snowman says, I don't see any of this de-escalating personally. Say what now? De-escalating what? What are we de-escalating? My hopes and dreams have been de-escalating for years. My faith in humanity, my, childlike wonder, all that's been de-escalating for lots of years now. My nose is itching something horrible. All right, let's get over to the live chat, see if there's anything coming in over there. Oh, and just for people who are watching, if you didn't see already, the stock is engraved. I got my first one engraved. I just got to paint it. Finished sanding the rest of the stock. I just did enough last night to engrave it. It took me till 7 a.m. this morning to get this right. So got it engraved. Now I just got to paint it. I got to decide if I'm going to do it in gray tones like the original design or if I'm going to make it in color, Ted Turnerize it. So got to figure that out. And then I'll get this finished and I'll show it to everybody. And then we'll give it away. Not just, just the stock, not the rest of the gun. Wouldn't be giving away that. That would be wrong. I mean, I just bought the stock. I didn't buy the whole gun. That would be right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I winked in the right time there. It gets confusing when you're supposed to wink sometimes. Oh, I think if someone's just listening to this podcast, they didn't even see me wink. They might. What's Django barking at? He's guarding my building while I'm in here. All right, let's get over to the questions over here. I don't think there's a lot of them. Edgar, I got to get back onto live chat over here. Let's see. Okay, there's as far up as I can go. All right, we got a donation to TYMP from Edgar Cortez. They didn't say nothing. He just said TYMP, but he did get entries into the stock drawing. Got 3 entries in the, no, more. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But he got entries in the stock drawing and a shit ton of entries into the silver bullet drawing. Dale Rickety chimed in and says, the difference between Adolf and Trump is that Adolf was an Army veteran. Oh, that's a low blow. Low blow. Yeah, Trump was a draft dodger, so I don't know why he's so pro-military. He should be about as into the whole military stuff as Clinton was. I mean, that's the one thing they got. Wasn't he a draft dodger too? I think so. Been so long, I forget who he was. Now he's all skinny, walking around looking like the Crypt Keeper in a wig. And it's like, ugh. I met him once at a McDonald's, actually, in Portland, Oregon. Oh, no, it was over in Vancouver, actually. He was in Portland, Oregon. He came over to Vancouver. Met him at a McDonald's. I was in there when he came in. Came in with his entourage. I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but I thought I'd share it. Jason Thompson chimed in and said, Izzo says cops should literally get the death penalty for violating our rights. I say they need gin pop and something. No, I don't know. We'll read the rest of that. But no, I don't agree with the death penalty. Just anytime they violate someone's rights, I think they should get an appropriate punishment for what they did. Maybe get the full extent of the punishment, like, what's the maximum, simply because of how much trust is put in them. But no, I don't ever support things that say like, well, if this person does this, they should get the death penalty. If they, are accused of this, they should get the death penalty. Well, no. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's not start giving the state the power to just kill anybody they think they can frame. I like to have a little more discretion than that. When is the last day for entries for the giveaway? I think right now for the first one, the last day is the 20th. I think that's when we started this. I got to check, but I think it's the 20th will be the last day for entries. That was Mikey D, by the way. All right, now let's get back over here. Boop. Dale Rickety, Jason Thompson. We got a couple more over here. Christian Corlson. Pieta sells a single action Army revolver with cylinders for 357 Magnum, 9mm, and 38 Super. Might be worth it, but I still want the 44 Mag Ruger. I think, yeah, the 44 Mag Ruger is a good way to go. But I had a Pieta single action Army clone. It was very nice. It was a Bisley grip, and their Bisley grip is old style Bisley grip. I mean, it's not like the modernized Ruger one. It like curled under. It was like a weird. And the reason they quit doing those Bisley grips a lot of times, people shot themselves with them. Because it's real easy if you lose control of the gun while you're drawing it for it to hook on your hand and spin right around, point right at you instead of falling to the ground. So that's the danger of the Bisley grip. The danger of the Bisley grip. But yeah, they're nice. The Pieta single action Armies are actually pretty nice. Paul Bidenbach says, "Hail Phil, if stripping an alloy frame pistol, what media is best for blasting?" Stripping. Well, if you're stripping, well, alloys, you got to be careful with things like aluminum and stuff. They are porous. I mean, they're soft, so you can really fuck them up, be blasting them. I always use, personally, it's going to make a lot of difference on making sure what air pressure you're using, but I like to use garnet when I'm stripping. Garnet's a really good stripper, and it's really smooth and even too. So whereas some of the others are not as smooth and even, garnet is usually a good choice for that. But you know, and here's the thing though, remember, if you're refinishing an aluminum frame, you're probably either going to have it anodized, which you're going to want to strip it first, or if you're just like Cerakoting it or something, you just got to fix it to where you can't see any of the damage and Cerakote right over everything, because you can Cerakote right over the anodizing, the same as your coat over the metal. So a lot of things, what you do is going to be determined on what you plan on doing with it. What are you doing? Over to that here. That was Paul Bidenbach. Michael C3PO paid his $2 tithe to Phil. A lot of you assholes ain't paying your tithe to Phil, and he's noticing. And in these times, when things is, I guess they're bad, people keep telling me things are worse than they've ever been, and it's violence and everything. No one's going to notice if you disappear, or no one's going to be surprised if you get Lyme disease. So I'd pay my tithe to Phil. I wouldn't push my luck if I was you all. But Michael C3PO says, "Happy Father's Day." I almost forgot it was Father's Day. My kids asked me last night, "What do you want for Father's Day?" I'm like, "I think you know, I want a TV. I want a big TV. Other than that, I want you to leave me the fuck alone." And they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just leave and not be home all day." No, I want you to be here. Just be quiet and don't bother me. Don't aggravate me. Don't get on my nerves. Don't do things intentionally because you know it'll piss me off, which they do all the time because they think it's funny. They think it's funny to get me ranting at them. I'm like, "Well, you're going to, when I punch you in the face, you know, you're an adult now." That's my problem. I haven't punched them. I need to punch them. I ain't punched either one of them. Well, I did punch Zyler, but we were sparring. You know, when we were taking Krav Maga, the first time I ever sparred with him, I gave him a little bop on the nose, and he cried. So no more of that. I wasn't allowed to spar with him anymore. Because I was taking him out in the backyard, helping him advance faster. I was forbidden from doing that again. Oh, well. Should pet insurance be mandatory like car insurance or a Medicaid for all pets? I would support a Medicaid for pets. And I think we could pay for it by cutting people off from government medical services who are incredibly obese, who smoke, who excessively drink alcohol or use drugs. When you make a personal decision to harm yourself, well, then public money shouldn't pay to fix you. But if, animals, they don't make personal choices to hurt themselves. So, and I know that's not a popular opinion, and it's definitely not very left, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. I don't think the world needs to cater to the morbidly obese or the smokers. And I don't think that we should pay for their medical. Get your own type of job and get you some insurance. And then when people bitch about, oh, insurance companies don't want to cover them. Well, of course not. They're a fucking landmine. Where was I at? What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Medicaid for pets. Yeah, I can get behind that. That was Michael C3PO. Next, we got Clinton Barella. You could stand under my Barella. Gun control measures would not have stopped the Minnesota shootings. If anything, they might they highlight the need for Democrats to change their views on the Second Amendment. They clearly are a target for some. Well, yes, of course they are. So that's why I always say I never understood why the people that are more targeted in society are not the biggest purchasers of firearms. Like, why aren't the two biggest groups buying guns women and gays? Because women are put on all time. It's just, I guess it's fun to victimize women because people doing it all the time. Men love to do it. Just being a woman makes you a high potential to be a victim. So I don't know why they aren't buying more guns. And gay people, it's like the only group that you still hear, they're all going to hell. They're all abominations and they should be murdered. You have preachers in America giving sermons like that. And it's okay. So I don't know why every gay person isn't strapped 2 or 3 guns. They ought to be talking to Jacoby about how many guns they can carry. Every drag queen should have a Derringer and that Garter. Oh, that'd be worth it to be a drag queen, just to be able to carry a Derringer in your Garter. If I wouldn't make an ugly woman, well, I'm an ugly man now, so what would it be different to make an ugly woman? But then I'd have to shave. I don't want to shave. But it would be worth it almost to be able to carry a gartered belt Derringer. Just have your, and then when someone tries to victimize you, you go, well, how about instead of that, you take a look at this, and you show them a little leg, and then you blam with that Derringer. Not that I've thought it out or anything, but, pretend like you're into it. Like, oh, is this what you want? Get ready. Let's see. Where am I at? If I lost my place. That was Clinton Barella making a good point. See, every now and then he makes a good point. James Patrick chimed in and said, what does your hat say? Oh, I already show people, but it says, believeth. It's Bigfoot Jesus. Do you not know about the gospel of Bigfoot Jesus? Have you not heard the word of Bigfoot Jesus? Well, let me tell you, you need to listen about Bigfoot Jesus. You need to let him into your life. Not in a religious way. I mean, if he wants to eat your watermelons in your yard or something, your watermelon rounds, let him. We're not putting him above Phil. You're not going to have any deities above Phil. But I do believe that he might be one of Phil's agents on this earth. I think all of them, the Bigfoots, might be agents of Phil. But it's a Bigfoot Believeth hat. If you want one, go over to my website. I sell them. Shats. No, hats and shirts, not Hertz and Shats. You can't get those on my website. John Heasley chimed in here and said, for my new stock, leave it black and white. Wait, you mean paint it black and white in the black and whites? Or do you mean like just leave it engraved and stain it? Because I'm going to do some probably where I just engrave it and stain it. That doesn't give you the same effect, though, as the painted ones. The painted one gives you more of that trench art feel. And I like that a lot better. But, sometimes people just want something engraved. So your post was unclear. Instructions unclear. Now I'm gonna get my dick stuck in the toaster because you weren't clear about your instructions. Johnny Mandrick, the last person weighing in over here, said, "What's the best caliber for a Derringer?" Well, for the Derringer, I'm pretty accepting of most calibers, but 9mm makes a nice small Derringer. But then again, 38 Special is also acceptable in a Derringer, and they're small too. Same, basically the same size. The bullet just sticks further into the barrel. But when it comes to Derringers, I'm even okay with 9mm. Fine with it out of a Derringer, So, but pretty much that's the great thing about Derringers. You can get them in most any caliber. If I was, I'm not I'm not going to be the petite gal of the drag queens, so I could probably carry like one of those, what do you call it, the Cyclops in my garter. I mean, there's going to be a lot of junk. My balls alone are going to require so much duct tape. There's probably plenty of room to hide things. So I think I could carry a bigger garter gun. Where was I? That was it, I do believe. On the super chats, John M. Mandrick was the last one. Yes. Now let's get over here, see if we got anything coming in on the live chat. Frank in Iowa, he does know that he's not really in Iowa, right? That there is no Iowa. That he's actually floating in a vat of goo. The government has taken him and given him to the aliens and put him in that Iowa place. Where is he? How about Marvin? There's a glitch in his matrix. The Martian with a ray gun, like from the Looney Tunes cartoon. I have an image. If you go look through my designs over there, I have one of Marvin with an AR-15. I could put that one on there too. That would look good. What would it say though? I could probably just put TYMP again, or something like, where's the kaboom? Well, I also got the one where he's looking down the Colt barrel, says, where's the kaboom? But I don't have to put it with that one. I could just the one of him sitting there holding the AR-15, and it should say, there's going to be a kaboom or something, or just say kaboom. Sometimes less is better. Less is more, I guess, is the real saying there that I screwed up. Let's see here. Where are we? I can say Yankee deserve an A+ on a job. Good job. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I know what I'm doing. I've done this before. I got to get me a new hand engraver though for some little details that I need to do. I keep forgetting to look one up on Amazon. That's what I should have been doing before my chat today, but I didn't. I was eating a watermelon. Mr. Bombadil, use Mr. Bombadil. What do you think about the administration giving the ATF all the powers and funding of the DEA? I don't know all the details. Like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to check into things, but I don't like giving the ATF any power. ATF shouldn't have any power except to, enforce codes on people who sell alcohol and tobacco. Shouldn't have their own little army. None of that. If they need enforcement, they should call in the local police or federal agents, not their own people. They don't need their own army. What do you think about? Oh, I read that already. He did it. He put it back in. Pretty sure Phil is mad at you for getting his watermelon. He don't eat watermelon. Phil guards watermelon. He don't eat it. He guards the cosmic watermelon, which is so far above the things we consider watermelons. Because you got to remember, all of existence is inside that one watermelon. Every little seed is an infinite number of galaxies. So we're just a tiny little speck in one of the seeds inside that giant watermelon that he protects. What we call watermelons, he wouldn't even register on his radar. He don't care. He don't eat them anyway. If he ate them, we'd be in trouble. He doesn't eat them. He guards them. Excuse me. What was this? You straw purchaser. Well, no, there's nothing straw purchase about that. You can send a gun to anybody and they pick it up and do the background check. That's not, I can just start giving away guns, just mailing them to people's FFL, tell them to go pick them up. They'll go fill out a 4473 and pick them up. That's not going to do that, but it's not a straw purchase. Straw purchases is if you gave me money and I went and bought a gun for you that you were otherwise unable to own legally, well, that's a straw purchase. Or if I just bought a gun to give to you, knowing you couldn't legally possess it, that's a straw purchase. But just giving somebody a gun, you can do that anytime you want, as long as they go through the proper channels and they can legally own it. I like when people in here make vague comments here with no context, like I don't see things escalating. Then you have to figure out what they're talking about. I never know what people are talking about. They think because I said something about it a little while ago that, oh, he'll remember. I don't fucking remember what I said 2 minutes. I don't usually know what I'm saying right now. Because how often do I say, well, we just said, what was I talking about? So, yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about in the moment a lot of times, much less what I was talking about 20 minutes ago. How about a fundraiser where the winner picks the design to be put on a stock? I would like the bear and bunny toilet paper design. That one could be done. Yes, that one could definitely be done. I got to remember there's limitations of size on the stock, though, so I can't do things that are too intricate or else it'll be a pain in the ass. Pieces will start breaking off and everything. But we can do stuff. All right, let's see. Let's continue with the questions over. Let me make sure I'm still caught up over here. That Johnny Mandrick was the last person. Nope. James Patrick chimed in again. This is his second time chiming in today. Say hi to my son Ben. Your son Ben? You name him after that bear? You name your son after a bear. Although I like Ben the bear, remember? Oh, or a rat. Did you name him after a rat? Because Ben was a rat too. Remember that Ben? Yeah, that song by that pedophile that was really popular there. It was a good song, actually. But no, I'm not saying hi to Ben. I don't talk to rats. Plus, how old's that rat? Does he even know I'm saying hi? And what is a kid doing watching this anyway? This is not appropriate for children. I swears and all kinds of stuff. I say inappropriate things. I have lewd intentions. Not really appropriate for children. Or Welper either. He's a little too innocent to be in here, but we allow it. Where was I? Where did I get that from? Oh, that was a super chat. That's where I got that from. I'm like, where did that come from? I don't see where it's at now. The people where I work stopped ordering Jimmy John's after I showed them photos of the CEO poaching rhinos and elephants. Me too. We stopped eating Jimmy John's for that same reason. I used to eat Jimmy John's all the time. Loved them. They delivered to your house. We stopped because of that. I also stopped going to a certain butcher I go to because he put pictures up on the counter of him hunting wolves in Utah or something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not coming here anymore. I think he died recently. He got kind of forced out of the business by his son and daughter-in-law, and then he died, I think. 50 inmates at the migrant detention center in Newark pushed through a wall, and 4 of them escaped. Oof. Did they go back to working at Subway, or what did they do? What about someone with over 20 felony convictions for violent crimes, kidnapping, and rape? After that many, should the death penalty be done? Oh, no, they should just be locked. By the time before they get to that many convictions, they should be locked up for good. They are a threat to society. And if we didn't have prisons full of low offenders, we could keep those people in prison. or maybe find an island somewhere we can put them on. Like airdrop them onto an island somewhere and let them build a society. I don't think they'll build much of a society, but we could let them try. Blasting with crushed walnut shells works well on aluminum. It cleans it good. I don't know how well it takes off anodizing though. Sometimes it really is a pain. But like I said, if you're just going to Cerakote it, you don't really have to strip everything off. There was a mass stabbing at the Union Gospel Homeless Shelter in Salem, Oregon. 11 people were wounded. The guests at these shelters need to be screened for weapons at the door. Yes, they do need to be. Because I used to work overnight shelters every now and then, because they needed an actual licensed social worker on staff or a psychologist on staff at the time. So I would volunteer to go work night shift. Mainly meant I went over and slept on a cot in a closet. So there's a big pantry closet with a cot in it. I'd go over and just sleep there. I would listen to the Bare Naked Ladies and go to sleep. I remember it like it was yesterday. But it was like 25 years ago. Yeah, those places are dangerous. And I remember one of our supervisors got mad at me because I threatened to hit a kid with a cellular phone, when they were the big blocky cellular phones. He was acting crazy and threatening other people. And then he acted like he was getting in my face. I was like, dude, you get in my face and I'm going to knock your ass out with this phone. I had it in my hand. I'm going to knock your ass out. And he got his stuff and left. And then my supervisor got mad. We don't threaten violence. I'm like, yeah, you have some crazy person coming after you and I'll see what you do. I'll just let him beat your ass. See what happens. Because he was threatening the female coworker I was working with. She came and got me because he was threatening her. I'm like, yeah, I'm just supposed to let him hurt her. And this guy had been someone who had offended like 2 or 3 times before. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to let him hurt anybody else. He's hurt people in here before. He's not doing it again. He's banned. I banned him. And even though the other guy was my supervisor, he is not a psychologist and he's not a licensed he was an administrative person. So I was able to overrule him on that. He didn't have any power to overrule my judgment on that. He did not like it when I banned that kid. I'm like, you got to sometimes, it's great to want to help everybody, but sometimes you can't endanger 99 just so you can save 100. The 100th person is just one person. He's not 100. He can just go and come back when he's not a danger to the other 99. Because you can either fail with everybody or succeed with the ones that have a chance. Did you get your present for Father's Day? Not yet that I know of. Will the Minnesota situation help to rid the unmarked masked police officer policies? I sure as hell fucking hope so. I don't think it will, but it'll maybe make it to where security officers aren't allowed to look like police. I get sick of that. I get sick of seeing people walking around a building in like riot gear and flashlights, and the only difference is on their belt instead of a gun is a taser or something. I'm like, you shouldn't be able to look like a cop. I see them harassing people down on the streets down in Portland. My sister is a security guard, and she hates that when some security guards start throwing their authority around with the people down there. She'll step in. She's like, you're not a cop. Fucking back off. Where are we at? Oh, we're out of time. I didn't realize we're out of time. Let me make sure I'm all caught up on the supers. We're caught up there. We're caught up over here. I never did the emails. Let's do emails real quick because I got one I've not shared for a day or two. I need to share it. Let's do it real quick here. Present, share screen, Winder. First one is the baby birds. Go Shadow sent pictures of the baby birds. There they were when it started, when they hatched. And there they are now. Look at that. It's all getting stuffed in there. Bunch of baby birds are getting big. I make him send pictures because that way I know he ain't ate them. If we didn't make him check in every now and then, I'm pretty sure he would eat them. I don't know what this picture is he sent. Forgot to attach photo. I guess there maybe was another email that actually told us what it is. No. Oh, there it is. Idiot pushed a big pile of garbage out onto the lake. He was forced by DEC to clean it up before ice melted. He also got in trouble for well, cabin, and septic that was not at least 75 feet back from the edge of the lake. His septic ran into the lake. Some people are just assholes. All they care about is themselves. I was like that going down the hill today. There's like 20 cars backed up behind this one slow ass car going down the hill. There's no passing really in most of our road. So you get behind someone slow, you're fucked. And there's turnarounds on the side where you can pull off and let people around you or turn around. They don't use them. And I'm like, how do you look behind you, see 20 cars behind you, know you're going 10 miles an hour under the speed limit and not feel like a total douchebag? But they do. Well, theirs is well, I guess that's point two. We had a picture. Someone sent something here. Where did it go? Present, share screen, Winder. Who's this one from? Where did it go? I have lost it. Well, it's also Shadow. See, he's the one sent all the pictures. World War II stock refinished 9 coats of tung oil. I like tung oil on wood finishes, but if you're going to put a painted surface on it, you really need to use like a water-based poly. Gives you a better finish overall. But if it's just wood, I use tung oil. That's what I use. This person sent a picture of but I can't really share it. I can download it. This is from Kyle Lejeune. He said a new addition to his milsurps. This is a nice one. It's even got a little bayonet. Where did it go? Hold on. Let's share this one before we get out of here. Winder. Boom, boom. There's the picture right there. See, nice little fighting stick there. All right. Let me make sure we're still caught up on everything. And we will get out of here. Yes. All right. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it, especially those of you that engaged in the conversation, kept things rolling, made things go faster for me because I really got to go piddle. So thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for everybody participating. Thanks for people who engaged in the chat. Thanks for people who engaged in the fundraisers, like the double super secret stock giveaway, just the stock. I appreciate all of it. Hope to see everybody again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.